Remy and Easy the Block caption. Oh my God, I hope they don't find out about this because you know it's a possibility. You might hear it for 9 minutes and then 3 rounds in front of a crowd. Has that ever happened to you before, Remy Ma? It never happened to me.
Well, a female, my nigga, that's his wife, knocking you out compared to what he could have did to you, and you not off the hook either. If you don't cheat, at least cheat with a nigga that can fight. Remy, you are up here supporting the victim. But I had 6 Trove events. Papoose was at all of them. How come he ain't at this one?
I told y'all this months ago. I told y'all that Remy Ma and Papoose are done. I told y'all that Papoose put hands on that little boy she messing with, because that's a little boy. That's not a grown man. Remy damn near 45.
She's staying out on days my daughter got to go to school. My daughter's calling, she's not answering the phone. It's like crackhead behavior. I go to where I got an idea where they at. When I walk in the room, they in their lovey-dovey. Mom, right in his mouth off the muscle. He hit the floor like a sack of potatoes. The knockout victim, soft, didn't even fight back. That's what made me mad. You cheated with numerous others before that. You can't keep your legs closed, Rem. So you want to downplay me as an artist, and I wrote one of your biggest hits. I wrote 90% of the music since I've been with her. And if you type a keyword from any one of her verses, it pops up in my phone with the date that I wrote it. She had a certain individual she was locked up with. It's a female. I ain't think nothing of it. So I caught her with this individual in our house while my daughter was on the bed with them.
Damn near 45 years old. This little boy works for her. He is trying to get a come up and rap. Remy Ma and Papoose were supposed to own this company together. And Remy Ma ends up sleeping, and I'm going to say allegedly, with the help. I got a call the day Papoose ran up on that little boy and beat his ass. I just got a picture that I posted in TashaKLive.com of her and the little boy. All, there were more.
Tasha K didn't just drop a rumor. She dropped a bomb that shook the entire hip-hop scene. One moment, Remy Ma and Papoose were the couple everyone pointed to as the real example of loyalty, the kind of bond that could survive anything. The next moment, people were scrambling to figure out how a love story built through prison walls, years of sacrifice, and endless loyalty could suddenly be surrounded by claims of betrayal. And the wildest part, the pieces didn't come from random gossip pages. They came from names tied directly to the people involved. And the quiet reactions made everything feel even more suspicious. For years, people looked at Remy Ma and Papoose as proof that real commitment still existed. Their story didn't start with fame, money, or a picture-perfect image. It started in the middle of chaos, during a time when Remy was facing one of the darkest chapters of her life. After the 2007 incident where she shot a friend during an argument, she was sentenced to 8 years and ended up serving 6. Most couples would have fallen apart under that kind of pressure. But Papoose stayed right where he was. While Remy was locked up, he turned into the one person she could depend on every single day. She later revealed in interviews that Pap drove nearly 2 hours just to see her almost daily for the first year. When she finally told him he didn't need to come that often, he still pulled up 3 times a week without missing a beat. He called her every day, checked on her son, and refused to let her feel forgotten. And keep in mind, they weren't even married yet. He had no guarantee she'd come home the same person, no promise that she'd stay loyal, and no idea how long the sentence would feel in reality. But he committed anyway. By the time she got released, their bond looked unbreakable. They married, welcomed their daughter, and kept showing the world a level of unity most celebrity couples only pretend to have. Papoose even put how he felt into his music, calling her his queen, and reminding everyone how hard he fought for their family. Fans believed their connection wasn't just romantic, it was a survival story, built through years of struggle, patience, and loyalty. Everything about them pointed to a couple who had already survived the worst. But the truth about relationships is simple. Sometimes the cracks start forming long before anyone notices. And the people watching from the outside rarely see it until it explodes. On September 17, 2023, everything flipped when Tasha K hit the internet with a story nobody expected. She claimed Remy Ma wasn't as loyal as everyone believed, and that her marriage to Papoose had already fallen apart behind the scenes. The reaction was instant. Timelines lit up, people argued in comments, and fans struggled to wrap their heads around it. This wasn't just another rumor. It targeted a couple many people viewed as untouchable. The timing made it even worse. Remy and Pap had never shown cracks publicly, never hinted at drama, never played into gossip culture. They always looked united at events, interviews, and family moments. So, when Tasha described the situation as if it had been brewing for a while, the shock doubled. Social media didn't slow down for a second. People were replaying old interviews, digging up clips, and trying to decide if they had missed signs this whole time. Tasha's tone added fuel. She didn't speak like someone guessing. She talked like someone sure of the details, even naming the person she believed Remy was dealing with. That single move pushed the story from maybe to this might be real. And once people start seeing a crack in the perfect picture, they begin connecting dots that were never noticeable before. The story didn't just question Remy, it questioned the love story everyone admired. And that's what made it spread like wildfire. That's when a new name slipped into the picture and changed the whole direction of the story. Easy the Block Captain. A younger battle rapper from Philadelphia, nowhere near Papoose's status, but suddenly tied to Remy Ma in a way that got people talking nonstop. The rumors started right after Tasha K mentioned him, and they spread fast. People claimed Remy and Easy were getting closer while working together, and the more the rumors grew, the more believable they started to sound to fans who were watching from the outside. Then came the detail that made everything blow up even more: the claim that Papoose and Easy got into it behind the scenes. Reports said Pap stepped to him after hearing about the connection, and the situation turned physical. Easy brushed it off later, saying he had no marks, no bruises, no issues at all, acting like people exaggerated the whole thing. His calm attitude didn't help the situation. It made the story feel even more messy, almost like he wasn't taking any of it seriously.
Where's the flowers and all the extra
I'm
stuff
at
that we
work.
talk
I'm
about?
about to drag somebody. Hold on one second.
Who is she dragging? Walking around. What's
And
up
what
with
did
that?
you do?
All right now.
I just want to know, what does she do?
I'm a designer. What do you do?
I rap
Okay.
and I smack chicks
Mm-hmm.
that get out of line.
You're not gonna smack me though. All right. Okay. All
Every
right,
single
That-
one of those little
all right,
tiny
that's what we're
teeth
not gonna do. You're not gonna smack
that are
me.
brown and yellow in your mouth, which fly down this runway. Every single one of them. Back up.
All right.
Take your
get your
dry
friend.
wig. Back up. That's right.
Meanwhile, Papoose didn't say a word. No shade, no denial, no messy comments, just silence. And that silence had people reading between lines because Pap was always the husband who protected Remy loudly and proudly. So his quiet reaction hit different. Remy didn't help the confusion either. She kept showing up on Instagram Live like nothing was wrong, laughing off comments or joking when fans asked about her personal life. She wouldn't confirm anything, but she wouldn't shut it down either. It was like she was dancing around the whole situation, keeping people guessing while the rumors kept stacking. And just when it seemed like the story was fading, things got even more complicated. Remy's behavior online started raising even more questions. Every time she went live, fans filled the chat with jokes about Easy, comments about Papoose, and questions she never wanted to answer directly. Instead of shutting things down, she played around with the comments, tossed back little threats, laughed it off, or acted like people were just being annoying. But then she slipped into a conversation that showed a side of her many people thought she had left behind. She started talking about conflict the way someone in their early 20s might, not a married woman in her 40s who already lived through chaos, prison time, and public scandals. She basically said that sometimes fighting solves more than talking, and that some people need hands put on them when they push things too far. For someone who once landed behind bars because of a violent moment, hearing her speak like that again shocked a lot of viewers. It didn't sound like she had grown from her past. It sounded like she was still ready to move the same way she did years ago. Her comments made people rethink everything. If she hadn't changed emotionally, then it made sense that her relationship with Papoose was under pressure. He had always been the calm one, the anchor, the steady presence that kept everything from spiraling. But even the strongest person can get tired of being the only one trying to hold things together. At the same time, Tasha K wasn't slowing down. Each time Remy brushed off the rumors, Tasha added more pieces, more claims, and more reasons for people to doubt what they thought they knew. And it all added up to one thing. This situation wasn't as simple as a marriage going through a rough patch. It was something deeper, something that had been building long before the internet noticed. The next bombshell made that crystal clear. The turning point came right after a performance clip spread across social media. Within 24 hours, it crossed over 15 million views. Major blogs picked it up, reaction channels covered it, and numbers climbed nonstop. People who had never heard the name before were now searching for it. The The track charts jumped in 3 regions, streaming doubled in a week, and labels that once ignored the emails were now sending offers with long-term deals. But with attention came trouble. Old clips resurfaced, rumors started. A small mistake that would have gone unnoticed earlier now became a topic people debated for days. Every interview felt like walking on eggshells. Even though the success was real, the stress behind the scenes was just as strong. Still, there was no time to slow down. The team had to move smart. Merch was launched, the next song was pushed ahead of schedule, and a short documentary was planned to keep the buzz alive. Fans loved seeing the raw moments, and that helped rebuild trust after the negative noise. Just when people thought the story couldn't get any messier, Remy Ma stepped in with a single line that sent the internet into overdrive. A fan called her out, accusing her of cheating, and her response was short, sharp, and impossible to ignore. "I never cheated on nobody, so I don't know what y'all talking about." That one line lit up social media like wildfire. Every hip-hop fan, blogger, and commentator dissected it. Some took it as a firm denial. Others read it as a subtle dodge. Either way, it added fuel to an already blazing fire. The timing was what made it explosive. Papoose's Instagram bio still read, "Father, husband, entrepreneur, poet, humanitarian, and dedicated artist." That didn't sound like a man who considered himself single, so why did he allegedly confront Eazy in the first place? The clash suddenly didn't feel like a random drama. It felt like a man trying to protect his marriage while the other side stayed elusive and vague. Fans started connecting dots. Remy's playful online responses made it seem like she didn't care how things looked, while Papoose's silence painted him as the loyal one, still invested emotionally, still treating her like a queen. People wondered if he was the only one still holding on to the relationship, while she had already started moving past it in her own way. This moment also highlighted a bigger truth. Loyalty only works if it's recognized and valued. Pap had built years of patience, emotional support, and faithfulness, yet the actions, or lack thereof, from the other side revealed cracks that words alone couldn't fix. For viewers, it was a shocking reminder that even the strongest-seeming love stories can have hidden tensions that simmer for years before spilling out for everyone to see. Looking at the Remy Ma and Papoose saga, it's easy to get lost in the drama. The alleged fights, the rumors, the viral comments. But if you step back, the real story isn't just about cheating or confrontations. It's about the limits of loyalty and how people respond to love when it's tested. Papoose's devotion was undeniable. He showed up for her through prison, personal struggles, and the public eye. He stayed calm, steady, and committed when most people would have walked away. The problem wasn't his effort, it was how it was received. Remy, intentionally or not, didn't meet that same level of consistency. Her behavior suggested that some people just aren't ready to accept genuine devotion, no matter how pure or patient it is. She stayed playful, elusive, and sometimes defensive, while he continued to give everything he had. It's a pattern seen in many relationships. One person keeps giving, hoping the other will change or appreciate it. While the signs of disconnect grow louder with time, it's also a lesson about timing and growth. Remy had faced serious challenges in her life, and in many ways, she never needed to change because survival and adaptation were always part of her nature. Papoose, on the other hand, had invested years, hoping love would translate into mutual understanding. When it didn't, the imbalance became impossible to ignore. So where does this leave Remy Ma and Papoose? Fans are left with more questions than answers. On the surface, their story has all the drama, rumors, and viral moments you'd expect from a high-profile hip-hop couple. But underneath, it's about two people whose paths might be diverging after years of loyalty and shared struggles. Papoose appears to be quietly moving on, finding peace with someone new, while Remy keeps her distance, playful online, and unbothered by the speculation. The lesson is clear. Love isn't just about endurance or devotion. It's about being on the same wavelength, respecting each other's effort, and acknowledging when things have shifted. Pap stayed loyal for years, proving the depth of his commitment. Yet even that loyalty has limits when the other person isn't fully aligned. Remy's choices, whether deliberate or circumstantial, have shifted the balance, and fans are witnessing the consequences in real time. Whether this is the end of their story or just another chapter remains uncertain. But one thing is undeniable. Their saga shows the highs and lows of real relationships in the public eye. It's messy, complicated, and full of lessons that go beyond gossip, about trust, patience, boundaries, and the reality that not all love stories end the way we hope. For those watching from the sidelines, it's a reminder that sometimes the strongest seeming bonds can falter, and sometimes walking away or moving forward quietly is the most powerful choice. As Remy and Papoose navigate their next moves, the world will be watching, not just for the drama, but for the deeper truth about love, loyalty, and what it really takes to hold on to both.